Hello, my gorgeous friends. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Rachel, and today's video is going to be another 24-hour readathon reading vlog. I am so excited for today's video. I am so excited for this weekend. I'm really looking forward to reading as many books as I possibly can, as my little brain can handle in a 24-hour period. And I have to say, this weekend's TBR, it's stacked. It's beautiful. It's a perfect TBR, and I'm really looking forward to every single book that I have on this TBR. It's truly my favorite I think I've ever done for a 24-hour readathon. So let me get into what my hopeful reads will be for this weekend. So number one is going to be Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. This is the second book in the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy, which is a YA mystery thriller type of series. I read the first book towards the end of last year and I really, really loved it. In that book, we followed our main character who is a high school student. She goes to a school where a girl went missing and her boyfriend is accused of her potential murder. And that's kind of what everyone thinks, but our main character thinks there might be more to the story. So she uses this school project that she's doing kind of as a way to investigate that murder and find out what happened and potentially clear that boy's name. And I am curious to see what's going to happen in this book because the main mystery in book one was resolved for the most part. So I'm pretty curious to see what this book is going to be about. But I just remember having a really fun time reading that book and particularly listening to the audiobook. It's a very, very well done audiobook. And that is my plan for this one as well. I think I might start my morning with this book and just listen to the audiobook while I get ready. And yeah, I'm really excited for this one. Book number two on my 24-hour readathon TBR is going to be One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. So this is, I believe, adult fantasy with some romance. I don't think it's quite a fantasy romance. We'll see though. I've just heard so much buzz about this book. I'm really excited to pick it up. It's been on my mind a lot lately. I will fully admit, don't know exactly what this book is about, but the tagline is Elspeth, who's the main character. Elspeth needs a monster. The monster might be her, which we love. Love when a girly accesses her inner monster. I don't know if they mean literally or just with the action she's going to take, but I just think that that sounds really cool. It seems kind of like a dark and gothic book, and I need some of that in my life. So looking forward to this one. The next book on my TBR for this weekend is going to be An Heir Comes to Rise by Chloe C. Peñaranda. This is a book that, once again, I've just heard so much about. I've heard a lot of buzz. I'm excited about it. It's a new adult fantasy romance. I don't know too much about the plot, but I just know it's your classic human girl, might have some like hidden powers, lives amongst the fae. There's a bit of a power imbalance there, and there's a lot of secrets and mysterious stuff going on. So that sounds right up my alley. I'm really excited about this book. As I said, I've just heard a lot of raving reviews and I'm curious to see what I think. And then, oh my God, before I forget, because I don't have a physical copy of this book with me right now, I did order it. It's in the mail. It's not here yet though, but I'll be reading this book on my Kindle, and that is Six Scorched Roses by Carissa Broadbent, my queen, the love of my life. You guys know I absolutely love Carissa Broadbent, and she recently released a standalone novella set in the Crowns of Nyaxia world. The Serpent and the Wings of Night is the first book in the Crowns of Nyaxia series, and I'm very, very excited for that. I have high hopes, 5-star hopes. I love Carissa's writing. I don't know too much about the plot of this one either, but I know that the events of Six Scorched Roses run parallel to the events of The Serpent and the Wings of Night. So I think it'll be really interesting just to kind of see a different perspective of that world, and I just can't wait because it's Carissa and I love her, so I know it's gonna be good. All right, and then the final book on my hopeful TBR for this 24-hour readathon is not a book that I thought that I would be picking up anytime soon. If you asked me like a month ago, I would say absolutely not. But as you may or may not know, I recently read the Infernal Devices trilogy by Cassandra Clare, and I have just gained a whole new love and respect for Cassandra Clare's writing and the Shadowhunters world. I want to get into it. I want to sink my teeth into this world and read all of the series. So I have been reading her books in her recommended reading order. So I've read the first 3 books in the Mortal Instruments series. I've now read the Infernal Devices, and now it's time for me to go back to the Mortal Instruments series. And so the next book that I am set to read is City of Fallen Angels. And I have to say, the first 3 books in the Mortal Instruments series, they were like fine, but I'm telling you, I'm excited to get back into this world. I'm excited to see these characters again, and just, I have this whole new appreciation. I have this whole new view of the Shadowhunter books, and you know, even if this isn't as good as the Infernal Devices, I'm still excited for it. This is also the shortest book in the Shadowhunter universe, maybe not including the novellas. I don't own any of the novellas, but of the main books in the series, this is technically her shortest. It is still over 400 pages, but maybe I could sneak this into my TBR tomorrow. I don't know, but I miss it already. Now that I've read the Infernal Devices, I'm like, I want to consume everything Cassandra Clare right now. So hopefully we'll get to this one tomorrow. Okay, so this plus my Kindle is the hopeful TBR for tomorrow. Hopefully I can do this. I don't know. I think that I'm probably being way too optimistic, but you know what? We'll try. We'll give it our all. But the most important thing is I'm just really excited to read all of these. I feel inspired by all of them, and I just feel so ready to read this weekend. So hopefully I am able to accomplish most of this TBR. So kind of the plan for this weekend, other than obviously just reading until my eyes fall out, I do think I am going to be maybe doing some private sprints with some friends, but I don't think that we're doing any like formal slumber party sprints. I think that we're just kind of taking it easy this month, hanging out. So I think it's gonna be kind of a casual day tomorrow. I think that maybe I will read a little bit with friends at some point, but I think I'm just gonna be hanging out here, reading and keeping you guys updated on all of my thoughts. So even though it is gonna be a pretty casual weekend, I am contemplating getting up at 4 a.m. I've just never gotten up super early for a 24-hour readathon, and I kind of want to. I think the earliest I've ever gotten up like purposefully for a 24-hour readathon was at like 6:30, but that's only like an hour earlier than the time that I normally get up. So I feel like I kind of want to challenge myself and get up at 4 a.m. because imagine if I get up at 4 a.m. I could have a book finished by like 9 o'clock or something, which would be kind of iconic. So wish me luck on that. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I am going to tell you right now, I will set my alarm for 4 a.m. and hopefully I will get up and start reading probably Good Girl, Bad Blood right when I wake up. That is it for me. I just wanted to say hello, let you guys know what the plans are for this weekend, and I hope you guys are excited because I'm really, really excited to get into all these books. What if I had like a weekend filled with 4 and 5-star reads? That would just be beautiful because truly all of those books are 4 and 5-star predictions. Maybe not City of Fallen Angels, but that's like a strong 3. That's a strong 3-star prediction. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. I will see you, hopefully, at the crack of dawn when I have officially started this 24-hour readathon. Good morning, friends. Oh my God, I did it. I got up at 4 a.m. I didn't get out of bed until 4:30, but got up at 4. I'm here, we're doing this. Let's party. I am very tired right now. I haven't had coffee yet because none of the Starbucks near me are open yet. And something about me, I have cold brew every single day. It is my vice. I have to have it. I just do. So I'm just waiting for Starbucks to open. I've taken a shower. I have started listening to the audiobook for Good Girl, Bad Blood. I'm just like a little bit into it. And it's 5:17. I don't know if you can see that, but it's 5:17 right now. So I'm gonna leave in like 10 minutes to go to Starbucks because there's one that near me that opens at 5:30. So I'll go grab coffee and some breakfast and hopefully that will get me moving and shaking. But yeah, we're officially in this 24-hour readathon. I guess officially, I don't know what time I started. 4:45 maybe is when I officially started my audiobook. Let's call it that. So 4:45 a.m. is the start time for this 24-hour readathon, and I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, I'm very tired right now, but like I feel optimistic about the day once I, get some caffeine in me. I'm looking forward to reading this book. I'm just a little bit into it. I did forget a few things that happened in the first book, and there are actually some pieces of the mystery from book 1 that are still unanswered. I think yesterday I said it was all resolved, but now that I've started it, I'm like, oh yeah, there's still some pieces that are a little murky, we'll say. So I'm excited to see what happens in this book, and I just really like these audiobooks. There's a cool component of this audiobook where if there is a phone call happening in the book, they have a dial tone, they have a ring, they kind of distort the voices to make them sound different. There's also like a cast of voice actors, which is cool. So we have lots of different people having conversations with one another, which is enjoyable. I'm liking it. So that is the update for this, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. It's the second book in a series, so I'm probably not going to be able to give you guys too many updates on this one. So I may or may not update you before I finish this, but I'll kind of give you my final general thoughts. So I'm gonna go get some Starbs here, hopefully start feeling like a person, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Hello friends, I have a very exciting update. I have finished my first book for this 24-hour readathon. I finished Good Girl, Bad Blood. Guys, this was so good. I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about it because, as I said, kind of the main plot was mostly resolved in the first book. So I was kind of like, okay, what's gonna happen in this one? Am I gonna care? Am I gonna feel like we're dragging out storylines that need to end? No, we had a whole new storyline happen in this book. It was very, very exciting and intriguing. One of the characters in this book goes missing, and Pip doesn't want to get involved because she doesn't want to get wrapped up in all the things that she got wrapped up in the first book. So she does try to get the police to take it on, but they don't really take it seriously and they tell her there's nothing they can do. So she does decide to take it upon herself to investigate this missing person, and it just opens up a whole situation. And it was so entertaining. I just absolutely loved it. I love Pip as a main character, and I just really like how dynamic this audiobook is. As I said earlier, it's just such a fun listening experience. And yeah, I love this series so much. This was so solid and an excellent way to start this 24-hour readathon. Also, I just love Ravi. Can I just say, like, he is such an amazing boyfriend. He is so supportive of Pip. She is definitely the star of the show, and I do wish that we like got to see Ravi do a little bit more, just because I really love his character and I liked the level of involvement that he had in the first book. He's kind of just a supporting character in this one, but still happy to see him because he is amazing. So book 1 is done, and it is actually 8:45 right now, so I'm 4 hours into this 24-hour readathon. That's exactly 4 hours since I started. So I'm gonna switch gears here. I'm going to start An Heir Comes to Rise by Chloe C. Peñaranda. This is a new adult fantasy romance. I don't know too much about the plot, just I know that there's humans and fae and some secret magic happening. So it sounds like it's gonna be really good, right up my alley, and I've just heard fantastic things. I'm really excited to read this. I also got the audiobook from Scribd for this, so I will definitely give you guys more check-ins for this one, as it is the first book in a series and I can talk a bit more about it as opposed to Good Girl Bad Blood. I'm gonna go start this book, and once I'm a little bit into it, I will give you guys my first thoughts. Hello, it is me. It is 10:50, so what is that? 6 hours into the 24-hour readathon, and I thought it would be a good time to let you all know my first impressions of An Heir Comes to Rise. I am on page 111, so I think I'm like a third of the way through this book, something like that. That feels right. I'm feeling very positive feelings about this book right off the bat. Our main character's name is Faith. She is 19 and she lives in this village, and this village is a place where a bunch of humans live, but then there is like a greater fae kingdom that kind of rules over them. And the fae king is tyrannical and paranoid. There's like other fae realms and kingdoms that kind of threaten them. So this fae king is very suspicious of people, both humans and fae, and there's like, you know, war brewing. And so he rules with an iron fist, I would say. It makes particularly the humans' lives very, very terrible. Faith and her friend Jacon, they live together. They are both orphans. Both of their parents were killed several years ago, and they're just trying to get by. That's basically how all humans live in this village. They do what they can for money. They live very modestly and are just trying to survive and not attract the attention of any of the fae royal guard. Well, our girl Faith does end up kind of interacting with this fae member of the royal guard named Nick. Nick is actually a kind of like silent assassin. He has this ability called being a night walker, which means he can not only go into people's dreams, but he can also like go into their mind and kill them, essentially, like melt their brain. And after Faith's kind of first interaction with Nick, whether she likes it or not, the two of them are going to have to trust each other because of some underlying abilities that Faith may possess herself. So that's kind of just like the general outline and plot of this book. But I am just so excited because immediately I was just so taken and excited by the writing and the world building and learning about the magic systems and learning about our characters. And I'm just happy that like immediately within the first 100 pages, I'm already having like a very good feeling from this book. Also, oh my God, so I'm listening to the audiobook on Scribd. I think I mentioned that 10 seconds into the audiobook, I was like, wait a second, I recognize this voice. I love this voice. The narrator of the An Heir Comes to Rise audiobook is none other than Queen Elizabeth Evans, who also narrated the Throne of Glass audiobooks and also the 2 Crescent City audiobooks. So her voice is very familiar to me, and I just was immediately like, I feel like I'm home right now. Like it made me so happy. She is my absolute favorite audiobook narrator. I just love her voice. I love the way that she uses inflection and dialogue, and like she's very, very talented. So I was so happy, and I was just like, oh my God, I recognized her instantly. All good things thus far from An Heir Comes to Rise. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. I'm excited to see where the plot is gonna go. And yeah, I'm just like so happy that this is working out. I was literally like pretty much immediately like, yep, I'm into this. This is really cool. So I am going to keep reading. I think I'm gonna get some lunch because even though I got cold brew, I am still so exhausted. I'm so tired and I need to make it through the day. You guys, I'm only 6 hours in. We have a long way to go. And I want to get some good reading done. So I need to get my energy up. So I think I need to eat like a good substantial meal. So I'm gonna get some lunch. I'm gonna keep reading. And I think that we are going to hop on to some sprints with some friends soon. I think we're just gonna have like relaxing chill sprints and just kind of hang out together. So I think that'll be good as well. That'll help keep me awake too, of course. So I'm gonna keep reading, I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna live my best life. And before I finish this book, I'll give you guys one more check-in to kind of see how I'm feeling. Hopefully I'm still loving it. Hopefully I'm like, yes, this is beautiful, we're in love, like things are going well. But I will definitely talk to you guys before I finish this book and let you know kind of my final thoughts before I get to the ending. Friends, how are we? I'm dying. Oh my God, I could literally fall asleep. I am trying so hard to not take a nap right now. I'm struggling. Still alive, but I'm barely breathing. It is 3:17, so I am almost 12 hours into this 24-hour readathon and I am feeling it. I am feeling it. But we're gonna keep pushing. We're gonna keep going. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see what happens in the next few hours. But I need to talk to you all about An Heir Comes to Rise. Okay, so this is gonna be all over the place because truly my thoughts on this book are all over the place. When I last checked in, I was really, really loving the book. I was excited and those feelings haven't changed. I am loving this reading experience. I'm having a time and a half reading this. I am super intrigued by the characters, the plot lines, the romance that is blossoming, everything I'm into. But I do have to say, so this book series is marketed as a book series for fans of Throne of Glass, right? Which is very common, you know, ACOTAR and Throne of Glass are common comparisons for marketing for other series, and that's totally fine, and like, I think that's great. But I'm gonna be honest, there are a lot of similarities to Throne of Glass in this book, specifically like the first Throne of Glass book. There are things and plot lines that happen in this book that feel very reminiscent of Throne of Glass. And I don't quite know how to feel about it because it's hard, right? Because the characters are different. They feel different. Our main character is not Selena Sardothian. She is definitely a different character. The magic system is different. The kingdom and, you know, the general setup of the book is very different. But we have these scenes every now and then that I'm like, I think I've seen this film before. And I did love the ending, but like, do I like that I'm reading it again? Do I like that I feel like this book is heavily inspired by Throne of Glass? And like, I don't know if that's a problem or not, because I think lots of authors, and you know, Sarah J. Maas herself, I know that she's been inspired by Lord of the Rings and the Guild Hunters series and all of that, but there's like inspiration and then there's like, I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel. And then like I looked at Goodreads, which I shouldn't have done, but I looked at Goodreads and there was quite a few reviews saying like, hey, I really enjoyed this, but like definitely reminded me quite a bit of Throne of Glass. Particularly like the first book in this series feels like the first book in Throne of Glass. And I am personally finding that to be my experience as well. So I just don't know how to feel about that, you guys, because I'm enjoying it. There have just been scenes throughout this book that I'm like, yeah, I feel like a version of that scene definitely happens in Throne of Glass. There's been a little bit of repetition with that. So I don't know how to feel about it. I'm really enjoying it though, but like, is that because Throne of Glass is my favorite series that I'm enjoying this so much? If somebody came to me and said, I read this and I feel like it's way too similar and so I couldn't enjoy it, I would not argue with them. right? You know, like it's all subjective. This is my reading experience with this book. You may have a totally different one, and that's totally cool. I just don't know how to feel. But the plan is for the rest of the afternoon. I'm about to finish this in like 30 minutes, and then you guys will not believe. So my copy of Six Scorched Roses was supposed to come on Monday, but then the Amazon gods must have known that I was doing a 24-hour readathon today because my copy got delivered early. It got delivered like 20 minutes ago, and I was like, what? So I'm very excited. I'm gonna be able to physically read that, which I'm just really looking forward to because it's a beautiful, beautiful book. I'm really excited to see it in person. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna gather my thoughts on it, and then I will probably start Six Scorched Roses, and then I'll do like a check-in, you know, talking about my final feelings on this book and then talking about Six Scorched Roses. So other than the update being like, I don't really know how to feel about this, like I'm liking it, but also like, I don't know. I am also so tired, as I said at the beginning of this check-in, and I just don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna make it, guys. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. It's only 3:30, and I'm like, God, if I take a nap, is that just gonna ruin the day? And like, I don't wanna have more coffee or like a Red Bull because I don't know, anytime I have coffee or energy drinks kind of later in the afternoon, I always feel sick later. Like it doesn't give me energy, and then I just feel sick, and I don't wanna like ruin my day. I might, after I finish this, maybe I'll just take a little break from reading. I might go for a walk outside, but it looks like it's raining, so that probably wouldn't be fun. But I don't know. I might take a little break, maybe like watch The Office for a little bit or something. But I feel like this, you know, 24-hour readathon, it's going really well. I'm liking what I'm reading. I am liking this. I don't know how to feel. So yeah, I'm gonna go finish this book, take a little breather, and then I'm gonna start Six Scorched Roses. Or no, I kind of want to open that with you guys. Okay, so I might just do a check-in for this, and then I'll open Six Scorched Roses on camera, and we can look at the beauty of that book for the first time together. Let's do that. I will talk to you guys when I am done with An Heir Comes to Rise. Hi friends. So it is actually a few hours later. It is now 6:30, and I took a little break. I tried to take a nap, but I couldn't fall asleep, which is so weird because I was so tired earlier, but I just decided to lay down, not read, kind of just chill out. I took off my makeup and just hung out for a little bit, and I have to say, I am feeling refreshed. I am feeling renewed. I got my second wind. I put makeup back on. I'm doing good. The night is young, and so am I, so we have a lot more reading ahead of us. So before we move on to my next read, we have to discuss An Heir Comes to Rise. So I did finish this, and the ending of this book hit me in a way that I was not ready for. I should have seen it coming, but I didn't expect this. So let me preface this by saying, when I've talked about this book thus far, obviously, you know, when I first started reading it, I was really, really loving it. I was super excited. And as I was going on, I was still totally enjoying my experience, but I was just noticing all of these kind of similarities with Throne of Glass, and I pointed those out. But you know what? I'm an optimistic little bitch, okay? Like, I tried to just be like, I'm gonna give this the benefit of the doubt. Yes, I'm seeing similarities. Yes, I'm seeing things that are very comparable, but there's also differences. So like, I'm not gonna go full like hating this book or anything like that. You know, like I'm just gonna see what happens. I'm just gonna see. I want to be just like positive and open-minded and see what this book has to offer as a whole, okay? But I gotta be honest with you guys. The ending of this book is the ending of this book. And I am not even exaggerating when I say the exact ending that occurs in this book is exactly what happens in this book. Obviously, we're in a different kingdom. We have different characters, things like that. There's differences, but like, guys, this I can't defend. The ending I can't defend. I was ready to defend the similarities. I was ready to be like, oh, like whatever, haha, like there's a lot of similarities, but like it's still different. These two books have the same ending. Corporate wants you to find the difference between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture. Yeah. But it's so funny because like I enjoyed my time reading this. I don't regret reading this. I had fun. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had a really good time reading this, but I do have to say, after finishing it and after just kind of like thinking about this book as a whole, there's a bit too many similarities for me, okay? Because I have absolutely zero issue with authors taking inspiration from other series. I have absolutely, like that happens all the time. That is not what I'm talking about at all. I don't care if like very general plot lines are similar amongst series. Like that's not a big deal to me. I'm not gonna be a stickler about that. But there were multiple specific scenes that had specific similarities that felt literally exactly like what happened in Throne of Glass. And so just because of the lack of originality, I do have to dock this book some points. I will say I 100% enjoyed my time reading this. Like, I did. And I do kind of want to read the second book in the series just to see if that theme continues, because I'm like, okay, maybe the first book is just like this, but then we do our own thing in book 2 and like whatever, we can all forget this happened. I am curious about what happens in the next book, but the ending, I was kind of like giggling a little bit at the ending because I was like, there's no way. There's no way. It's the same ending. I am, what a turn. What a turn. I feel like I went on an emotional journey with this book. Obviously, like, I'm just like having fun and whatever. It's not that deep. I don't know. It's just, it's interesting. And I looked at the Goodreads reviews. I looked at them more in depth, and so many people have made the same comments as me. So that's how I feel. I'm gonna give this book 3 stars. I 100% enjoyed this book from beginning to end, but like, you know, as I said, because of the just originality, I wish, like, once again, I have no problem, take some inspiration, that's fine, but then make it your own, and make it your own enough, because there's obviously, these characters are different, the magic system is different, the politics are different, but when we have like scenes, like very specific scenes that aren't just like general fantasy romance scenes, but like scenes that happened in this book, happening in this book, I just think that that's like, you know, that's not fun to read. I want something different from you. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm sorry. I feel bad. I'm not trying to be negative. I just want to like talk about it and be very honest. And that's just my personal opinion. If you read this and you feel differently about it and you're like, no, I don't really agree with you, I 100% respect that. Like, I'm not trying to be like super negative or anything. I just want to be honest that like from my perspective, by the end of this book, the similarities were much too similar for my taste. All right. So now we have book mail, which I'm very excited for. This package contains one of my most anticipated releases for this year. So let's open it. Okay, are you guys ready? You guys are gonna see it before I do. Look at her. She's beautiful, she's young, she's fresh. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so happy to have a new Carissa Broadbent book in my possession. And it's so short. Let me see, how long is this book? It's like 185 pages. That is wonderful, especially for a 24-hour readathon. Oh my God, and then we have to see what's under. Carissa, she knows. This is so gorgeous. Oh, I'm so excited. Honestly, to be honest with you guys, I don't actually know what this book is about. So let's find out, shall we? 6 roses, 6 vials of blood, 6 visits to a vampire who could be her salvation or her damnation. Sign me up. I'm there. I don't need to keep reading. So I'm gonna sit down and read this, and I'm really excited. I might even get like my little like annotation bag out. I have like highlighters and tabs. I might annotate this because I'm gonna take my time with this. And I mean, I wasn't like rushing with my reads earlier today, but I might just like really take my time with this one and just hopefully fall in love with it and find some beautiful quotes, find some beautiful writing. It is pretty short, but I will definitely give you guys an update on it once I'm a little bit into it, and I'll let you know what I'm thinking. Hello, my loves. So it's just a little bit later. I just have a very brief update, but I just wanted to talk about this book, gush about this book before I finished it. That is 6 Scorched Roses. I am 47% of the way done with this book, and it's so stunning. It's just so beautiful. It's so like aesthetic, and this world is so like lush and dark and romantic and sexy and gothic, and it just provides such a rich reading experience. I feel completely transported back into the Crowns of Nyaxia world, as this is part of the series that The Serpent and the Wings of Night is in, and it just feels so good. It just feels so good to be reading a new Carissa Broadbent book, honestly. Like, immediately I felt comfortable, I felt right at home, and I'm just absolutely loving this. I have tabbed a bit. I don't really know if you can see that. Probably not. There's some really beautiful quotes in here. I'm also tabbing like world building stuff and things about religion, just to kind of like keep track of certain things that are happening in this book that correlate to what happened in The Serpent and the Wings of Night, just kind of like building those connections to remind myself, and just all of the wonderful quotes that our 2 main characters say to one another and the banter. It's so good. I'm just gonna give a very brief description of what this book is about, but our main character's name is Lilith, and she is dying. She has been dying basically since the day she was born. And unfortunately, at the same time that she heads towards her imminent death, her village that she grew up in and all the people in it have been cursed by a god, and they are all dying. And they're all actually dying before she does. So her family, her parents have died, and her sister is on her way to death kind of as we speak. And she's just trying to find a cure. So Lilith is a scientist, which is also like a really cool aspect of this book. And she kind of has, I don't know if this is like a confirmed thing or if this is kind of her own hypothesis, that using vampiric blood and kind of turning it into medicine could potentially cure her sister and the townspeople. So she makes the very brave decision to go to this vampire's home, and she walks right in because he doesn't answer, and that is the home of Vale. And Vale is this very mysterious, dark, brooding, kind of cocky, just like interesting, aristocratic, almost sexy vampire. And it's so good right away. You guys, it's so good right away. The second they meet, it's like, absolutely, yep, totally, I'm here. We're here, we're all here. Their connection is instant, the tension is instant, and oh my god, it's just so much fun. And so essentially kind of like the premise for the two of them meeting up and just kind of what this whole book is about is the 6 visits that Lilith makes to Vale's estate, and she's going to collect 6 vials of his blood because he agrees to help her out, and he's like, yeah, you can have my blood. I don't know if it's gonna do anything, but here you go. And it kind of just starts out as like a business transaction, and then slowly they start to get to know each other. I'm just like loving every single second of it. Also, it's kind of fun as someone who has read The Serpent and the Wings of Night. There are like some kind of subtle references to some things that happen in The Serpent and the Wings of Night, or things that were like kind of brewing during that book. So I like that. It's kind of giving me that reminder. I'm actually going to be doing a reread of The Serpent and the Wings of Night this week because The Ashes in the Star-Cursed King comes out on Friday. So I want to do a reread of The Serpent and the Wings of Night, refresh myself. I'm going to annotate that book as well. Like, this is making me so much more excited to get back into The Serpent and the Wings of Night. Like, I can't wait to reread that. I am going to be doing like a dedicated vlog for The Ashes in the Star-Cursed King, but I might include like a little bit of my reread as well. And oh my god, I'm just so excited. So this is going fantastic. I'm just really happy that I picked this up today. So it is, oh god, let me see. I can't really see. I think it's like 8:40 right now. And I'm gonna finish this up and kind of see how I feel. I don't think I'm gonna stay up for the full 24 hours. Whenever I do a 24-hour readathon, my whole thing, like where I'm coming from, is just I'm going to try to read as many books as I can in a 24-hour period. That doesn't mean I'm gonna stay up for the entire 24-hour period, but just how many books can I read in this time frame before my like brain just says, no girly, we're done. We have to be done. That is the plan for the evening. We'll just kind of see where things take us. But when I finish this, I will let you guys know my final thoughts and my rating, and I'll let you know what book I decide to end my night with. Hello friends. So we have made it to the end of this 24-hour readathon. It is the next day. I ended up falling asleep at around like 11 or 11:30. So about a 19-hour readathon. Not quite 24, I still haven't made it to doing a full 24 hours, but I read as much as I possibly could in a 24-hour period, so I'm gonna call that a success. Let's quickly go over the 3 books that I read during this 24-hour readathon and my final thoughts on them. So working my way backwards, I did finish 6 Scorched Roses last night, and this was absolutely fantastic. This is a 5-star read. Truly, as soon as I picked this up and I started reading it, I was so happy to be back in this world. I knew it was gonna be a 5-star. Carissa's writing just really works for me, and I just found this entire story to be very romantic and intriguing, and I just love this world so much. So really happy I read this. This is a really solid novella, really has me excited for the Crowns of Nyaxia series as a whole, and 10 out of 10 recommend. This was stunning. And then I read An Heir Comes to Rise, and I gave this 3 stars. I don't know, guys. I fully enjoyed my time reading this, but it is just kind of funny to me how many specific similarities this book has with Throne of Glass. So I don't know. I had a good time. I think there could definitely be a little bit more originality put into this book, but oh well. And then of course, Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. I started my readathon off with this. This is a 4-star read for me. So fun, so entertaining. Definitely recommend this YA mystery series. It's a really good time, and the audiobooks are chef's kiss. And I wasn't able to get to the other 2 books that I really did want to read during this 24-hour readathon, but my eyeballs were falling out. I don't know what to tell you. I had to go to sleep. I had to just call it quits, but I'm still very happy that I got those 3 books read, and they were all fairly successful. All right, guys, so that is going to be it for me for this 24-hour readathon. If you made it to this point in the video and you wanted to let me know, go ahead and leave the, isn't there like a drop of blood emoji? Let's do that. That symbolizes Good Girl, Bad Blood. That symbolizes 6 Scorched Roses because, you know, vampire's blood, all that jazz. So go ahead and leave that emoji if you have made it here. Please make sure that you are following me on Instagram and on Goodreads. They're always linked down below. I really appreciate that you watched this video. I hope that you are all having a fantastic day. I love you all so much, and I will catch you guys in the next one.